What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Inside 11, and right now we're discussing, and hopefully you share this experience of I was basically misinformed about the true nature of reality because somebody outside of me has placed a form that actually fucked up my theology and limited my perception and my understanding of what's actually possible within this realm of reality, because we only perceive things from our perception, and our perception creates inception. It brings our life about to be something. So when you're misinformed about what reality is, that you need to go to somebody else to get permission to do something, that you need a specific manner of acting, that you need to go to this trainer to give you a diet and a routine. Now that's great because they've went through that experience, and now they can actually put it into some form of product, services, information, and to help you save time, which is great. When we're talking about being misinformed about reality, we're literally talking about what the Masons, what the shadow government, what the corporations do to limit our ability to get to a certain point. Because once we get to that certain point, we're gonna start to see that reality is so much more abundant than what we've been shown constantly on TV, than what been shown into our city. Because we actually think our currency, our money, has to do something with the inflating dollar or the inflating Canadian dollar, or if you're somewhere in Africa, you think your currency has something to do with some kind of money and that money's interaction with other currencies in the world. Now that's great. That's a great form of economics. That's a great way to, I guess, create a market and things that's awesome. But that's not where currency comes from. Currency comes from the energy that you create, because currency is just whatever you are currently able to see. And so if you've been misinformed about reality through TV, if you've been misinformed about reality, about entertainment, that let's say all women are bitches and hoes, or you've been misinformed about reality when it comes to eating, or somebody, there's so many ways you can be misinformed about reality. This is why even the government would create, oh yeah, look, this here is misinformation, and this here is the real information you should be paying attention to, because we are your trusted government. We are your trusted source. So you should put all your attention into us, and not into any person, agency, group of people, or institute that has nothing to do with how we built the world, because we're the builders of the world, aka the Masons and the shadow government. And you guys don't know how to do nothing, so you guys should just follow our ways of thinking and our ways of feeling. But this is why the Bible tells you that Lucifer's one of Lucifer's forms, one of Lucifer's power, is him being prince over the air. And what does air mean? Air is the logical element corresponding to the left brain, and we know that logic can be used to justify a lot of desires, a lot of emotions, and things like that. So let's say you see an extremely obese person. Okay, I'm not gonna tell this obese person that, hey, you need to lose weight. They might want to lose weight, but they not be ready. Then that only sometimes when you're at that close moment of death, when the doctor tells you, hey man, you only got like 3 months left, so you probably should say love to your family. And that's the moment when God and life is gonna be testing you to see that, okay, is you gonna take someone else's information, someone else's logical consensus, and you're gonna agree to it, or you're gonna go and create your own outcome. Because you, as a hero in your own story, you need to start understanding that you are capable of creating your own outcomes. In fact, every outcome in your life, every good and evil thing that happened to you, that you perceived with your mind that happened to you, was just due to the misinformation that you have been fed. And our perception creates sometimes misinformation about the totality of reality, because our perception is only a small bubble of what this nature entails. Because life is just a series of virtues and principles, energies that correspond and work with each other to create what we call right now existence. Nature is an ecosystem that interacts with each other in order to sustain its life through a cycle of life and death and things of that nature. And so we've been made to hold on to things that don't truly matter at the end of the day, don't matter none, because of our limited ability to perceive and our choices to absorb information only from within certain sources, from, let's just say, certified labels, licenses and things like that. Now, why the hell do I need a license to speak or do something? Why the hell do I need a marriage license? The person who invented marriage must have been a weirdo, because they basically was trying to tell you, hey, look, you want to get married, you got to get this government license, and they're going to make a bunch of reasons. So they created the morality behind marriage, where, for the whole prenup ordeal or whatever. I'm not going to have that stage of my life yet, but I guess I know a thing or two about it. Where, the man has to give up part of his property, the man has to pay child care and things like that. While if we were actually in a true relationship with ourselves already, and we were in love with ourselves, we would attract that partner that's in that similar state of mind, and then you guys could cleave and weave. Now, it doesn't have to be that way, because guys gotta remember, we make love, so your partner can be somebody that's completely different than you, but can you shape and form the situation for it to be beneficial for both parties? Because that's a mutual exchange. Now, we can take a look at the so-called health crisis that's going on right now and things of that nature, that really only one party is benefiting from that, and those are the manufacturers that are making those products for it to enter your blood, your streams, in your fluid in your body and things like that. Obviously, I don't want to mention any particular names because I don't want this video to be flagged or whatever, but you can see the point. You can see that somebody has forced your attention only on a particular set of information and told you to ignore the possibilities of the rest. Because when I look around me right now, I can go this way. Now, this is speculative. Objectively, you can do the same shit. I can go forward this way. I can go backward this way. I can go this way. I can go this way, that 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 way. So you got all these possibilities all around you 24/7, 365, but because we have accepted this limited perception that we've willingly embraced and put upon ourselves for material security, safety, and just security that the government provides. Like, okay, guys, look, if you guys have health problems, we'll give you guys a dialysis check. Oh, you're disabled? Oh, no problem. We will give you some money to deal with that. And so right now, we're literally getting to a point where, they're so creative with their witchcraft, they literally make people actually kill themselves and things like that, where they make people willingly sign up for suicide programs. In Canada right now, we have the MAID program introduced by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, which gives doctors, which literally, when you go to the clinic, the doctor will offer you the option to literally kill yourself by a chemical injection type of shit. Now, I'm not sure about the details of it, but I know that they're supposed to ask you and they're supposed to offer it and things like that. So you could see where they've literally perpetrated and engineered a society to put people in a position where they will have to kill themselves, because they don't want to kill you. They don't even want to get to that point. They don't want to get to that point where they have to, like, where it's like mass riots. They're tired of that shit. They've already been through that, done that. They've been doing that in medieval times, chopping your heads off because you didn't accept the belief systems they were trying to put through you. Why do you think they was murdering witches and sorcerers and wizards and shit like that? Because you was such a creative, intelligent person. You understood the true nature of energy, and you understood how to bring it about in this reality within a shape and a form that can manifest a possibility for you. This is why also women are forced to wear sometimes even the way they're dressed back in the day, where a woman shouldn't show her body, because a woman is so sensual and sexual. She has the ability to sway a man's feelings and bend it according to how she want to do something. But that's an ability. That's energy. But see, they want to block your energy by misinforming you and controlling the way you perceive reality, and make it so limited, make you so docile, make you feel like it's so futile to even try to be anything more than what you currently are. But that's simply not the truth, because you have already become more than what you are. There's one area in your life where you were already successful. Now, what if you were to take that area of your life and put it and try it in another area, and you would be successful? Because the same thing that you did in a different area of life is the same thing that you did, is the same thing you can do in another area of life to be successful. So if you didn't have successful relationships before, you're gonna start to understand your perception and how you was misinformed, not directly by information injection, by, let's say, now it can happen in so many different ways. You can be a child, you can perceive your environment, and you can begin to accept these things as if they were real. Like, let's say you grew up in a household where your mother or your father was abusing your dad or your mom, whatever. You might start to accept that, okay, if my mom is abusing my dad, that means females are horrible and they're out of control, And this is why we need the church and things like that. But see, they're getting you lost on a polar shift. Or vice versa, you might see your dad beating your mom or something like that, and you might come to the conclusion that, oh, okay, well, my father is an abuser, and being a masculine male is not a good thing, but he's a toxic male, and so they're gonna put even more things in your environment in the form of information, in the form of celebrities, in the form of books, in the form of actors and characters, so you can begin to accept that perception and make that into your ideal. And since these things that they have programmed and engineered and socially engineered in society is already accepted on a mass scale, you're more likely and willingly to take that because that's what's truth in front of you right now. But it's a veil that they have cast in front of your eyes, and everybody's actually asking themselves the same question. Was I misinformed about reality, and is my perception limited? And so, just make sure you ask yourself and you really question the information, the influx of information, that the logical consensus, like I said earlier, like logic is a faculty that can be used in so many different ways. I had friends that would literally convince females to sleep with them knowing that they wasn't good for them, because a true player is not somebody that sleeps with so many women. No, a true player is somebody who can leave that woman better than he found her, and not necessarily leave her more damaged than she is. Because you know what's gonna happen when you sleep with a female and you just leave her? She's gonna be like, yeah, they both parties know, like they don't even like each other. They're just there for a desire. You're gonna confirm to yourself what you've already believed about relationships and things like that. You're gonna tell yourself, yeah, see, I told you these dudes, they don't really like girls no more. They're probably like low key, down little brothers, or however you programmed yourself, you're gonna perceive the situation through it, because that's what you've always been doing. You've always been perceiving your reality through your lenses, and so that's what you've always been doing, and that's what you've always been doing now. Why not begin to adjust those lenses and those goggles that you see in life with, aka your brain, and begin to do things differently? Because perception and the possibilities within reality are two different things. Perception by nature is limited, but the possibilities within reality is infinite. This is why God is all possibilities available to you. But when you don't accept your ability as a magician, as a master manifester, then you put yourself in a role where you're going to be less than what you is. And so if you need assistance in identifying those speculative keys in the form of characteristics and attributes that have already been placed in you since birth, but we lose these keys. Well, we don't necessarily lose them, but we use them in reverse, and we abuse them, and we think, okay, these things are bad, and we're not so, I did this again and again and again, yeah. So you start to lose because whatever the pendulum swings to the right, it also swings to the left. So if you do something extremely evil with your attributes and characteristics, that also means by natural universal law that you can do a very extremely good thing with these natures. See what I'm saying? Because all what happened is that we've been misinformed about ourselves, and we've been confirming to ourselves again and again and again about the things that are inherently true to ourselves. We have basically put a different costume on them, and we have demonized these aspects within ourselves instead of understood the angelic properties in it. But being angelic and being demonic is not bad either or. You just have to understand how to shift between the two when needed, and how to walk the narrow path 24/7, 365. And so this is what the Labor of Love report is designed for. It's going to assist you in identifying those attributes and characteristics that God has already placed in you, so you can begin to clearly see yourself on a sheet of paper, so you can start to understand, okay, this has always been me anyways, so let me just start doing me better than I did before. So I love you, appreciate you, and nothing y'all can do about it. Nothing y'all can